Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Be sure to smash like and subscribe. Welcome back to another episode of, is what I would say if I was mentally ill. Okay, so what am I going to talk about tonight? Something else that also pretty much irrationally pisses me off, and it's this idea of being a burden to the viewer. Now, I feel like there's a lot of ways this can be interpreted, but I feel like the easiest way or the most generic way, also I have no idea what I'm doing here. I need this out there, I need that one to go up. The most generic way I can interpret this is basically there's so many behaviorisms that we just think are okay on YouTube or whatever, that we just become, I guess, desensitized to the fact that it's just garbage. It's like slop, right? Also, wow, I'm really bad at this, whatever. Let's just use like the free thing that just like instantly completes the thing, because I literally clearly don't know what I'm doing. So this is a game that in my opinion, is not like a bad game, it's just, I feel like this game's kind of like, well, you know, I'm not gonna say it's a bad game. I was trying to find any game that I could think of that I was just like, this is kind of dumb garbage, not even worth, like, thinking about or doing, or it's just, like, boring, right? But I couldn't really think of anything like that. So, yeah, today we're just talking about things that I think are a burden to the viewer. Which, to start off with, obviously the whole like and subscribe thing. I feel like if you tell people to do that, they're, well, A, for starters, I mean, the whole idea of, like, humanity as a whole has kind of been founded on, like, hey, let's rebel against whatever is pissing us off today. And the biggest part of that is, honestly, like, you tell someone to do something, and then they're actually less likely to do it just because they were told to do it. I guess it's kind of funny how that works. Also, I'm hoping I don't get stuck here. Sometimes you like, accidentally do this in the wrong order or whatever. Although usually the pieces that you're revealing are actually going to help you keep proceeding. So, when you tell someone to like and subscribe, their immediate reaction is, okay, well, I might, but only if this is, like, good content, which not everything's good. In fact, I'd rarely say stuff is good and or worth watching nowadays on YouTube. That's why I originally started YouTube on another channel, you know, separate, land far, far away, galaxy far, far away, some Star Wars reference here or there. But, yeah, so people just don't want to do what they're told, and that is totally fine. In fact, I feel like that's kind of like people's aversion to, like, government and other things like that nowadays. Just like the evil forces of the world, you know, it's like, hey, if someone's just stranger says to do something, you know, be like, whoa, don't do it. But on the flip side, if you don't tell people to do it, I mean, they forget, or if it's something that's actually worth doing, then, you know, they might consider it, or, you know, and to me, it's just, I feel like it's a burden to the viewer, you know? I don't think it's anything actually really worth saying, because it's kind of already understood, and people, like, will naturally like the things that they like, and if there's, like, a great appreciation towards something, it'll naturally succeed on YouTube or any other platform, or just generalized, like, it'll see success if people actually do genuinely, truly like it. And because there's so much everything out there nowadays, well, like Bo Burnham, internet, welcome to the internet, anything and everything, all of the time, it's hard to find things that actually do stand out from the crowd, and that's why I feel like people don't really smash that like button as much as they used to, I guess, because everyone's like, okay, well, if you tell the viewer to, they're actually going to do it, but I feel like it also just gets annoying after a while. Maybe that's just me. I feel like that's like a mutually agreed upon sentiment that pretty much everyone kind of shares, but maybe I'm an outsider to that. Maybe people love hearing the same thing over and over again, but I wouldn't know. So that's the first thing that I think is kind of annoying. The second thing is clickbait. Now, clickbait, what I find really interesting about it is it is unreasonably effective, and I think Veritasium proved this and a bunch of other people. But it's this idea of, okay, let's hook people in on something that everyone can agree is just baloney, it sucks, it's not true, it is disingenuous, I don't know if that's the right word. It's just, like, it's not what it is. But if you keep them for another reason, well, is it fair? Is that valid? Is this how you play the game of YouTube, you know? And I think naturally you'll be able to kind of sift through it, and you'll be like, oh, I've seen a video from this guy before, it's garbage, I don't want to watch it, or, like, it's not hard to figure that out, you know? After you've seen that thing on YouTube once or twice, and you're just like, oh, it's the guy, the boy who cried wolf, you know, it's getting old, Um, I love Mahjong. Anyways. So, why does YouTube let that happen then? And then, I guess, why are people rewarded for it? And then the answer is because, like I said earlier, it is effective, and then if people do stick around, well, YouTube's happy. I mean, they're getting their cut of the ad revenue from all that, so there's no reason for them to be mad, you know? I mean, it's just part of the life cycle of the internet. You just get people to keep clicking and clicking and clicking until eventually all their time is sucked away, and other people are ludicrously rich and wealthy, and all those good things people want in life, but often require doing things that I don't exactly find worthwhile to obtain. So, it's kind of funny too, because I talk about that, and it's like, how do people accrue wealth, you know? Um, and there are, like, good ways of doing it, and for example, with the main channel I have, I was thinking about putting out merch at some point when we eventually get far enough in the whole YouTube ecosystem life cycle to actually make that worthwhile, but I'd only want to do it if it was something that I myself would buy or have, and not just because it would be probably of a character that I've made, but because it's something that I'm like, hey, this is genuinely cool, I like this design, you know? People have made tons of things for me or characters I've created and all that, and to me I'm like, okay, that's cool, but at the same time, it's not something that I would use or something like, it's like we could do better, you know? And I feel like YouTube's kind of gone that direction with a lot of things, and that's where we're at with, again, today's video. Why are we a burden to the viewer that it's like, this is our audience that we're catering to, but we're also like a grand generalized annoyance for the sake of not providing meaningful things 90% of the time. And that's why I kind of made this channel, because I'm like, hey, I feel like this is a more somewhat satirical, but also, like, more serious look at just, oh, hey, why do things suck sometimes? If we have the choice for it to suck or not to suck, we would just choose not to suck. Unless you're into that, I guess. I don't know. But, we could do better, right? That was pretty much all I had to say today. I gotta head to work at some point, too. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully the intro didn't throw you off too much from the typical range that my voice sits at, and, yeah, I wish we weren't as much of a burden to the viewer. I hope these videos are somewhat enjoyable, or they mean something for the 2 people that are subbed. In fact, we are now actually 60 videos in. 60, so that's about 1/6 of my goal here, so I was gonna do that for a year just to see what happens. And, still kind of absolutely nothing. 2 subscribers, and then, like, I think the channel's got, like, a few hundred views. I don't think it's quite the 1,000 range yet. But, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your night, day, evening, morning, work if you're watching this on break or lunch break, kind of like how I watch YouTube on lunch break. And have a great rest of your day. See you around.